Hey there, Justin Prime again. I'm going to be doing an in-depth coloring tutorial. Last time, I honestly I kind of half-assed it. I was dead tired. My brain was tired, and I didn't get as far as I would like. I have a little more mental energy right now, um, so I'm going to be doing a new Skulldier coloring. I've already done the flatting, so the armor's done, the suit's done. So I'm going to jump right into shadowing and highlights. Um, I'm just posting to Instagram right now that I'm going live, which makes it official. I probably should have done this before I started, but you'll be okay, right? So live right now. Share. And let's roll. All right, so again, I have this issue with comments. Actually, no one's here yet, but so never mind. I'll wait until people are here. So I'm gonna switch my camera to this one. What I need to do is figure out how the hell to just broadcast directly from my Surface Pro 4. I think it is possible. I know I can record my screen, but I don't know like how to broadcast directly from it. So that's a whole separate issue. If I can get that figured out, man, this would be great. But for now, we got to deal with it the way it is, and it's not the greatest, but no well. All right. So we are coloring Nix again, same color scheme, the light gray and the white. Flats are already done. You don't have to watch me flat every single little piece of white armor. I'm drinking a Boddington's, by the way. This is Boddington's. All right. So I have, probably can't see it. Let me get a little closer. I have my layers set up here. And they're already named. Yeah, I can't get it right there. I have one for sash, one for armor, and one for suit. So I'm going to go through each one, add a shadow to it. And I'll probably also do a general like nighttime shadow as well. So let's do that first. So I'm going to go above this bluish, tealish background layer. I'm going to go above that, use my paint bucket, and just throw down some gray, some black all over it, and then reduce that opacity to, let's go kind of dark. Let's do 75. So this will be a pretty dark nighttime scene kind of thing. Then I'm going to duplicate this layer, put it directly on top of the suit. So you'll see what I just did does not apply to Nix because that layer is over, it's on top of the black layer. This is the black layer right here. The suit and the armor and sash are all above it. So whatever happens underneath it doesn't affect it. So let's go above. So I duplicated the black layer and I put it above the suit layer. I'm going to duplicate it again and put it above the armor layer. I think this will be too dark, honestly. Duplicate it again and put it above. Oh, I know, above the sash. So here's the issue. The first black layer that I did, I want that to be over the whole thing. That's fine. The second one, all it did was go over the whole thing again and actually multiplied how black it is, I think. But actually, yeah, I think it did. So what we're gonna do is we have one above the suit layer. I'm gonna press this wonderful little thing right here, which you can't see, but it's called Clip at Layer Below. And that should make it affect only the suit. Still pretty damn dark. So I'm going to do the same thing for all the shadow layers. Yeah, that one helped out. Oh, I know why. So all I did was make everything darker, basically. That's not terribly visually appealing. What I'm doing differently with this is rather than assuming that there's light hitting him, I'm assuming there's no light hitting him, or almost no light. It's 75% darkness, so in my mind that's 25% light, but I don't think it quite works out that way in real life, but that's just kind of how I think of it. So he's already covered in darkness. This is like a nighttime scene. One mistake I probably did make is my pencil layer, or my inking layer, is not a pure black. It's like a grayish, so it doesn't show as black. It kind of, you might be able to tell. maybe not. But it looks almost, not white, but like, it just looks like it's outlined with a lighter color, which I didn't really want. So I might fix that, but let's just roll with it and see what happens. Let's see here. All right. So since I've assumed everything is already covered in shadow, now what I'm going to do is carve out the shadow or cut back on it. One way you could do that is by taking the eraser tool and going to the soft eraser. I like to make it nice and big, so I'm going to go with the size 600. Actually, it's not even big enough. I want to do size 1000, and this is over the sash. So if you watch the sash, the darkness goes away, obviously, right? Everything's so dark I can't tell if that's the right color underneath, but it's got to be. Everything's just messed up. So you'll cut back, and all of a sudden now we have a light source that's coming from above. I'm going to undo it. I don't like the way it looks, so I'll undo it, but I'm just showing you. Same thing with the armor. Go like that, and now there's a light source coming from above. And all we did was cut back on the darkness. Let's do this, the shoulder, all these little pads. Let's go smaller. Bigger than that. So we assumed darkness, and we started removing darkness, and it looks like a slight light source. Now let's go to the suit, and I'm going to go pretty big on this one. And start cutting back some of this. Something's not right here. The hell, I don't know. I don't know. Something's not looking right. I'm gonna adjust this layer. I want to make this darker. It's actually a good time to show you how to do that. What the hell is going on here? Yeah, something's not right with this. But I don't know what the hell it is. No, that's right. All right. Anyhow. It's weird. I told it to clip, but then it still shows up as all black. Let's I'm gonna undo this completely. So I'm gonna take this top shadow layer. I want to erase it. Sorry, I'm trying to work through some here. That looks right. I guess it is right. It just seems weird to me. All right, I guess we'll keep rolling like that. Just for now, I'm gonna mess with this here. Let's start over. And I'm also gonna make the I forgot what I was gonna say. So I'm clearing the entire layer and then going. It's on clip mode, so it's gonna only go onto what's underneath it. So I'm basically back to square one. But I'm gonna start over with this here, the my pencil layer. It's not dark enough. If it was like a daytime scene, it would look great, but it's a nighttime scene, so I don't like my outline looking lighter than what else is going on. So I'm gonna redo that. And the easiest way is on the layer, my pencil layer. There's a lock transparent pixel. I press that, and what that does is lock all the transparent pixels, just like it says. So when I color over it, it's going to only cover over the pencils. So if I go like that, I can see all my lines darkening up right away. Yeah, that looks better. I guess that's what it was. It was just messing with my eyesight because it's just way too light. So can you see that? Shit might be too dark. I'm gonna leave it like that just so it's easier, hopefully easier to tell. what's going on with this. Does that make a difference? I'm going to be checking comments on Instagram, and I have my Google Plus up also, so hopefully it'll tell me if there's comments coming up or not, or questions. Feel free to ask anything, really. All right, so let's keep going here. All right, so all right, back at it. So that was one way. It's just by cutting. Hopefully, that all made sense. Is by you start off with complete or almost complete darkness. We have it at 75%. Is by cutting back the darkness. It gives you a light source, and it looks pretty natural, I think. So let's do it again on the armor only. Go to the armor shadow layer and 600 size, and just start cutting back. That you should be able to see. It cuts back on it. And I'm using the soft eraser, which gives like a gradient right away. So now he's got a light source all of a sudden. So that's one way. And that's not what I did for my comic. In my comic, I actually had a different way, which I thought was really cool. Oops. So let's undo all that. Get back to square one here. So in the comic, toward the end, it's nighttime for Skulldier Stories issue 1. What I did for that was, and I think it looks really cool, I used the airbrush, and I actually made another layer on top of the shadow layer for highlights. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to make another layer on top of the sash, another layer on top of the shadow layer for the armor, and yet again, same thing for on top of the suit, the gray suit. So let's start off with the suit. I'm using the airbrush soft. Soft and shadow, I don't, usually I use shadow, I think. Let's do that. Yeah, we'll do shadow. So let's assume this is nighttime. At the end of my comic, he's in like a bamboo forest kind of a thing. So we're going to do that again. Because actually one of my stretch goals for the Kickstarter is to extend the comic by like 6 pages, I think. So this actually could end up being a page or a panel. So I'm going to color with that in mind. So I have the airbrush, shadow. There's also highlight, soft, and hard. Shadow is what I use the most. I don't know, it works for me. And I'm going to go with like a moonlight kind of a scene, moonlit. So I'm going to do like a light blue, and I'm going to go lightly over the shadow on my highlight layer. And I really hope that shows up well for you. It looks like on my screen. I'm not going to go. It's nighttime, so it's supposed to be dark. So I'm not going to go crazy with this. I just want it real subtle. If I bring all the nighttime or all the darkness back, hopefully you can see that. There it is. So now I'm cutting back the shadow with highlight, and I'm actually adding to the scene. So that's just the suit. I don't think it would touch down here by his leg. I just did that to show you where the leg is, make sure you can see it. I'm going to turn off my light and see if that helps things. Nope, not really. Oh, I can make it brighter. Dude, seriously? What the fuck? All right. Let's go with that. All right, so where are we? So I'm just gonna do very, very subtle on the suit, right up here where the light would hit. He's kind of hunched over, so I don't think the moonlight would get any would get to the rest of his body. Sorry, I'm messing with stuff. Trying to see if I can get this better for you guys. He might have a little bit here on the back of his foot, so I'm gonna throw some down right there. So let's do a little bit. You can't see that at all, can you? Yeah, that's better, but it's really hard for me to draw that well. Let's try this, dude, if I can. Thanks for hanging in there, whoever is here. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's definitely more visible, right? All right. All right, so where were we? So now we have very subtle blue moonlight kind of highlights on top of the suit. I got a question from Jared. I'm going to answer it in a second. Thank you very much for your question. Now I want to put highlights on top of the armor. We'll do the same thing, same color. And I'm going to do size 600. I like to work bigger. When it comes to highlights, I like to work pretty big. Yeah, I'll do 600. 500. Whoops. All right. Make sure we're on the highlight layer using the airbrush at 500. Make shit pop out. So this is the exact coloring style that I used. See, damn it, now it's kind of blurry, man. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta learn how to broadcast directly from the Surface Pro. And so we're hitting up a lot of his little armor pieces that are going to show up. I think are going to hit the moonlight. So I'm going to do a little bit more than with the suit. I probably could do more with the suit actually, but I think it's good right the way it is. All right, so things starting to pop out there, right? And the last thing is the sash. Oops, wrong one. That's the suit. Sash. So it's very, very, very subtle. So right now, everything has a little bit of highlight. Just, it's enough. Yeah. So we've actually began with darkness, and we've created something out of the darkness, which I think is kind of cool. So that's a pretty basic kind of thing. We're going to take it one more step further. Man, I wish this wasn't so blurry, guys. Sorry. I'm worried about getting too bright, but I'm going to push this a little bit further, and I'm actually going to create one more layer on top of the sash layer first. I'm going to stick with, actually I'm going to go with the same color that I was using, but a little bit brighter, or a little bit more to the white side of things. And then I'm going to go with colored pencil, because right now everything has highlight, but it's all the same soft texture. It's not even really texture, but it has the same soft gradient kind of look. So as of right now, all these materials have the same texture. So the suit and the sash and the armor pieces are basically all the same material visually right now. That makes no sense. So I'm going to use the colored pencil to add some texture. So I got a question on Instagram from Jared. Jared I am. It says, hey, I'm watching a stream. I wanted to ask what your biggest inspiration was for the Skulldiers. Well, honestly, I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this. The Skulldiers aren't my idea exactly. My younger brother, is just this incredibly talented, brilliant. His imagination is just, it's just something else. And he came up with the Skulldier name. He also came up with the basic Skulldier design. I think he came up even with the basic mask. Um, so I saw that, fell in love with it, and he and I actually wrote a story together, or he wrote it, and I fine tuned it. We had come up with character designs for a story that takes place on 2 Echo. Mine takes place on 4 Echo. It's the fourth planet or third planet. So we had all these things in place, and it didn't go anywhere. He was kind of dragging ass, honestly. He's this one of these people that's like so creative, but he doesn't finish anything. So yeah, so he kind of lost interest, I would say, and I didn't. I loved the Skulldier concept so much, and the backstory that we'd already created, and the world that we had started building. So I said, "Hey, do you mind if I run with this Skulldier thing?" And he's like, "No, it's cool. I'm already on my next project." Um, so then I developed the armor further and the backstory and my overarching huge Skulldier-verse timeline and everything. So originally, a Skulldier wasn't really my idea exactly. It's definitely at this point it's mine, and the Skulldier-verse and everything it's my baby, and I've talked with him about that, and he's cool with it. I would love to do the story that he and I wrote at some point. I would like say it's pretty neat, and actually that story would not focus on the Skulldiers. It would focus on I'll say the people they're attacking on 2 Echo, and so it would be a much different perspective, but also build the Skulldier world and universe. So hopefully that answers your question, dude. Thank you for asking. All right, so let's get back to this. The sash should be a different texture. Yeah, you can see it. It's on my screen. I can see it. So the colored pencil. I love using the colored pencil tool. I love the way it looks. So I pretty much abuse this thing. So the sash I'm using the colored pencil for, and I'm oh damn it, I fucked up. I added this soft highlight here, but that was the wrong layer. I have to go back to the spray can, do the slightly brighter blue, lay it down gently, and go back to the slightly white. Get the colored pencil out again, go a layer up. Oh, fuck it, whatever. And throw a little bit more highlight. So when I do the lighter blue colored pencil on top of the other blue, which is a layer underneath, what I'm doing is I'm just adding a highlight to a highlight, which is I'm adding, it's when light hits something, it's gonna have a bright spot and then kind of fade out. So the brightest spot of a highlight should be a lighter color. So let's say this thing was like there was like fire nearby. I would do let's say a red. I'm just gonna do this real quick. So I'd do like a red, right? Actually, it's pretty damn bright. But inside that red, I would go orange. Orange is a little bit brighter in a way. It's closer to yellow. And then I would go to yellow and put that in there. So I have no idea what would cause this highlight, but it gets brighter. So just like that, on my sash here, I have the light blue airbrush, but on top of that, I have a slightly lighter blue with the colored pencil, which gives it texture. But it gives more of an illusion of, this is the bright spot, and the light is gradually fading out from there. Okay. Picture looks okay on my screen here. Hopefully you guys are doing all right there. All right. I'm not going to do too much more of this. It's really easy to overdo it too. You kind of have to like do enough and oops, that's not blue. You have to do enough and then move on. And it's really easy just to keep going and refining and going and refining, but you got to know when to stop. All right. So our sash has some extra special highlights on it. See, I feel like I'm already doing too much. So that's the basic idea of highlights against the shadow on the sash. So let's do the same thing on the let's do the suit next. So I'm going to add a layer on top of what's the highlight that's already there. Do the clip to below. And let's see, it's the suit. So the suit, I want to have, it actually doesn't have to have a whole lot of texture like the sash, but I'm gonna anyways. I want the armor to have a smoother kind of look to it. So I'm not gonna do much more with that. The suit though, I am gonna do a little bit of the colored pencil. I probably could do like watercolor or something, but I haven't played around with that enough to really know how it's gonna look. So I'll do the colored pencil also and go into it. Oh, I'm on the armor layer, that's why. Okay. All right. So one thing that we could do to make it different, which I've already started doing, the sash has the same highlights, but I used a bigger size colored pencil and I very lightly went over it. With the suit, if you want to give it a different texture and reflection, I use a smaller colored pencil and I went a little firmer, which gives it a different kind of a reflection. Where else we can do the suit here? There wasn't a whole lot of suit action, right? I'm doing too much here. Damn it. Start over on this section. There. That does not look good. Let's do that again. Let's go to the bigger size. And then I'm going to go with the bigger size, and then I'm going to go with the airbrush again and smooth it out. Yeah, that's good. Let's do the same thing on the shoulders. Okay. I think that's it for the suit. There wasn't a whole lot we did there. I could go into like the muscles and on the back, but I don't want to overdo it. So I'll leave it as is. So now with the armor, I want the armor to be smooth. I don't want it to have much texture to it at all. So I'm going to stay with the airbrush. Let's go soft. And I'm going to do, let's try pure white and see what it looks like on top of that blue. So we'll make, where's our armor? Armor layer, let's go one layer above, clip it down, and let's do some white on top of the highlights already there. That's huge. But we'll do it smaller, 300. Yeah, so I'm using the soft highlight. Definitely makes a difference. But it's subtle. It's just it's a soft highlight, so it's pretty darn subtle. Okay. That's pretty much it for that. I don't want to do too much. I did miss something though. There we go. All right. All right, what now? So we have our nighttime scene with Skulldier popping out, just based on the subtle like moon highlights. See if I get that right. Okay. I'll try something out. I have shadows cross-hatched in here. I'm going to add, I'm tempted to add a deeper shadow by going over that with like a black. I think I will just to try it out. Let's do that one at 75% also. Go to black. So right now we're over the armor. We got to use the paint or the ink, the pen. That's too dark. That's pretty damn dark. Let's fill it in though and see what it looks like. Just play with the opacity. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's not too dark, but I do believe it is actually. So let's lower that to 50. So 50. Yeah, you can still see my cross hatching and you can see the shadow. So let's roll with that. It's like another layer of shadow, basically. All right, so let's do the same thing for suit. We'll duplicate the layer, put it on top of the suit layer, clear it, and do it again. So it's just going to add a little more visual depth, and then that will help those highlights that we put in. It's going to help it pop out more. Also a chance to help define muscle also a little bit more, since I didn't do a whole lot of highlighting on the muscle for the suit layer. So adding some shadow, a chance to help define muscle structure. So when I add these shadows, it's pretty simple. This is I call it the Saturday morning cartoon style. Or I guess just cartoon style, really. It's not to be Saturday morning. It's the flat black with the opacity turned down. So it's just so I guess it's that flat black on top of the color that's already there. And there's really only one layer of it that you can actually see and notice. I have the overall 75% black on top of everything, but you don't really notice it because it's everywhere. But this layer of black, it gives you that sense of depth, because everything else is it turns out kind of flat. Since that 75% is over everything, this is what really gives you some depth. But it's really simple kind of look. All right. And the last part to do is the sash. So let's duplicate the layer and then move it above the sash. Clear it. Let's do it again. Monday is the Kickstarter launch for Skulldier Stories. Man, I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. I feel like I made a good product. I feel like I did a good job, But there's definitely some anxiety setting in. But I'm ignoring it, plowing through it, and we'll just see what happens. All right, so just adding some final simple shadows on top of the sash. Give it some more depth. Pretty easy. There you go. That adds a lot, though. I mean, it's simple, but it adds a lot. All right, so we got some fairly simple but effective highlights and really simple shadows. But all of a sudden, this is a much more rounded character, and now he exists within some sort of space. He's not just there, but he's an object. He's got mass to him. Excuse me. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I don't know what else I could do right now. Yeah, it's like I said, you don't want to overdo it. This is good as it is for now. If I incorporate this into my comic, I'll probably go into it in a little more detail. But that's actually, that's like, what, an hour or something? I don't even know how long I was doing this, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something. Please feel free to leave a comment or whatever. Skulldier Stories, Monday, Kickstarter. That's all. I can't find my mouse on my computer. There it is. There we go. And I'm signing off. Bye. Oh, no, I forgot his eyes. Nope. I forgot his eyes. Not done yet. Sorry. All right, so the eyes are a primary light source, so everything I just talked about does not apply to this. It's its own light source. Let's make him angry, so we'll make him red. If you'll remember, if you know, red is threat, Watch the fuck out. Blue is calm, and black is unconscious, asleep, dead, off, or stealth mode. But red is a threat, so Nix here looks calm, but that red insignia is telling us he is not. Nix never really is calm, honestly. All right, so this presents a whole new challenge here. So we have the primary light source, the red, but I want to give it a glow feel, and this is something I don't feel like I've mastered at all. So we're going to figure it out together, more or less. I feel like I pulled it off in the comic pretty well. So we're going to use the airspray can or airbrush. We could just do it on the same layer and give it a glow effect. I don't think it works very well. We're going to actually go a layer underneath it so it doesn't affect the top layer, the actual red. And we'll do a simple glow, more going out this way, not this way. So yeah, it's there. So then on top of the red layer, the primary light source, we're going to make a whitish kind of glow like that. Problem here is I'm pretty happy with that. That looks all right. I'm going to carve into this a little bit though, actually. So the glow is overall fine. Where's my layer? But it's kind of all over the place, so I want to control it a little bit. I'm going to go with the hard eraser and go out. I want to give the glow more of a purposeful direction. So hopefully you can see that there's a straight line right there and right here going out. And then I'm going to tailor it. I'm going to calm it, bring it back a little bit. I'm going to go with soft eraser and bring it back. Not bad. Let me see how it looks with that. Yeah, I think it looks better when it's calmer. And then same thing with the white. Scale that back too. So now we got a glow, but it's not out of control. But we have this damn black line here. This I'm not sure how to handle. Let's try a soft eraser on it. It works. Kind of interesting. So it's there, but I erased it with a soft eraser, so it was faint. Let's try the hard eraser. And just get rid of that chunk of line completely. That could work, but it just doesn't. I'm not satisfied with that. I'm not really satisfied with either of them. So the other option is to take the ink layer and put it underneath all of that, which makes it a little out of control. You can see, hopefully you see the difference. The black outline keeps it under control. If I put it underneath, all of a sudden it's just a red mess. Let's do it again. I like the way that looks. I don't really want to fine tune that. Nah, let's try it. All right, so I'm going to try and get this under control here. That's the soft eraser. Damn. I don't like that at all. Let's try this again. So I'm basically just freehanding it right now. And it's looking like crap. Yeah, I'm gonna, for the sake of time, I don't want to experiment too much on a live stream. Let's go back to the faded black line. Come on. There we go. All right. Soft eraser. There. Yeah? Yeah. I'm also gonna, the glow is circular, but it really shouldn't be. It should be more, I don't know if it's concave or convex, but it should be going like this, along with the curve of the helmet. It's going this way. So let's minimize that. Let's try with the hard eraser first. Cut into it. Nah, it's not feeling it. Soft eraser. That's better. And I think the red, yeah, that's fine. All right. All right, cool. So we got our glow. Yeah, actually, that white's bugging me. It's never good enough. The white was too much. That might be too much, but I think it actually works. So we now have a red light source. If I wanted to, I could go back and like add. Yeah, I think I might. I don't know if I can pull it off. Let's see here. I'll keep the soft airbrush going. All right, let's go into the armor layer. Highlight. I don't know if this is going to work. And just add a very, very light red. It's basically pink around the edge of this, since it would cause very slight highlights around the area. That kind of adds a little something, not too much. If the red glowed more, we could add like a red highlight to like the armor, but it just doesn't glow that much. But we could do something like that, which looks kind of cool, but it doesn't glow that much. So I'm pretty darn satisfied with this for what it was. Using the Surface Pro 4, the battery actually did pretty well. And I have it at the brighter setting, which is one step away from the brightest, but the battery did pretty well. I'm all over the place. I don't know if I want to do another one of these without being able to screencast, because it's just, you don't get a good representation of what I'm doing here. But anyhow, now I'm saying goodbye. Hope you liked it. Hope you learned something. Appreciate it. Kickstarter on Monday. Skulldier Stories. I'm out.